Hello everyone. My topic is going to be about the history of the United States Army ROTC. Alright, let's jump right into it. So what is ROTC? I want to first give a brief overview of what exactly ROTC is so that you guys can have a better understanding before we can go into the history of it. ROTC stands for Reserve Officer Training Corps. It is a college-based program that allows students to become U.S. Army officers upon graduating with a bachelor's degree of their choice. Army officers are the senior leaders and managers who hold commissions, plan operations, issue orders, and lead both enlisted soldiers and other officers to achieve military objectives. So now that we kind of have an idea of what it is, let's dive into the rich history behind the program. The origins of the United States Army ROTC program may be traced to the early 19th century. In 1819, through the efforts of Captain Alden Partridge, the American Literacy, Scientific, and Military Academy known today as Norwich University was founded. It was there that training in military tactics was first offered as a component of the curriculum of civilian college in America. Under this concept, college-educated men would receive a strong foundation in military tactics. During times of national crisis, these citizen soldiers would be available for service in the militia. The Morrill Act of 1862 spurred additional availability of military training on American college campuses as it was enacted during the Civil War. The Morrill Act provided federal lands to state-supported colleges, provided that training in military tactics was available. The Army ROTC program, as it exists today, was established with the passage of the National Defense Act of 1916. Many distinguished academic institutions, including the University of California, Berkeley, and Norwich University, were part of this initial cohort. This marked the first time that military instruction on America's college campuses was unified under a single federally controlled program. Approximately 50,000 men who had received some form of military training on college campuses ultimately served during the First World War. During the 1919-1920 school year, the Army ROTC program commissioned its first group of lieutenants, 133 new officers who would later be joined by more than 500,000 others by 1985. Now, let's talk more about the founder, Captain Alden Partridge. He was born in Norwich on February 12, 1785. He remained at home doing the work that fell to the lot of the sons of New England farmers in those days, until he entered Dartmouth College in 1802. He continued his course in college until 1805, when he entered the U.S. Military Academy at West Point, being the first person from his native town to enter that institution. After his graduation at the academy, he filled many positions on the academic staff there, besides being superintendent of the academy at different times. In 1817, he resigned his commission of captain in the Corps of Engineers. Captain Partridge was a noted pedestrian, on several occasions walking 60 miles a day, and once pacing off 70 miles within that limit. It has been said of him by one who knew him well in his youth that he was never known to utter a vulgar or profane word, or a byword, or to use tobacco in any form. Such he was through life, and a most constant attendant upon Sabbath services. Now let's talk about his role as an educator. Captain Partridge's influence on education was both significant and enduring. He was among the first to recognize and challenge the flaws and weaknesses in the higher education system of his era. Over the past half-century, the physical development of students and scholars has shown marked improvement, a change that can be traced, in part, to his early advocacy for balanced education. Partridge envisioned a comprehensive approach to learning that integrated mental, moral, and physical development, grounded in practicality and American ideals. Determined to bring his philosophy to life, he established schools designed to put these principles into practice. These institutions achieved great success, producing many young men whose service to the nation proved invaluable. His educational model blended the physical rigor of ancient Greek training with the patriotic spirit of ancient Rome, while adding original elements of his own to create a distinctly modern and American system. Through his innovations, Captain Partridge made a lasting contribution to modern education and earned the enduring gratitude of his countrymen and future generations. Now that you know more about the founder, we will continue with how ROTC has changed throughout the years. We will fast forward to 1947, when America had rapidly demobilized with the surrender of Nazi Germany and the Imperial Japanese government. But Soviet aggression and an armed conflict in Korea quickly spurred renewed interest in ROTC. The ROTC Vitalization Act of 1964 solidified ROTC's role as a primary source of active duty Army officers, and the program of instruction for Army ROTC became more closely aligned with the college education than ever before. Scholarships were made available to qualified cadets, and monthly stipends were offered. All these factors were expected to broaden the popularity of the program on campuses. Challenges to the requirement that all male students at land-grant institutions enroll in ROTC surfaced at virtually the same time. The national debate on U.S. involvement in Vietnam also contributed to an uncertain future for ROTC. Young men had faced compulsory military service throughout the Cold War years. Deferments granted to students enrolled in college-level ROTC increased the attraction of the program. That situation was altered when Congress initiated a draft lottery system that did not feature draft deferments to ROTC cadets. The draft ended in 1973, and as might be expected, total ROTC enrollment declined significantly, but under a pilot program, women became eligible to enroll in Army ROTC in the 1972-73 school year. The pilot program proved successful, and in short order, the program was commissioning female lieutenants. And that was a brief overview of the history of the U.S. Army ROTC program and its founder, Captain Alden Partridge. All my sources will be listed at the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it.